Good evening, everyone. Welcome to IHAF Indonesia 2020 Goes Online. This is Institution Webinar Series. My name is Christy Johanna. I'm going to be moderating this webinar. This webinar is going to be presented by the University of Portsmouth. Please stay tuned until the end of the webinar because we will hold a Q&A session. If you have any questions about the presentation or anything related to the country's higher education, you can submit your questions in YouTube's comment section anytime throughout the presentation. And now, please welcome Ms. Adele Wong from the University of Portsmouth. Ms. Adele, the time is yours.
Thank you very much. It's lovely to be here, and I hope everyone is having a good evening. I won't waste any of your time, so I shall start straight away to present the university to all of you. If you just give me a moment, I will share my screen. Here we go. Could I just have a thumbs up to just see if you are able to see my screen? Great, excellent. Okay, so my name's Adele. I'm the regional director for this part of the world, which of course includes Indonesia. And Portsmouth, for a start, we're in the south of England. And you can see us right at the bottom of the map there, about 70 miles from London. Takes about an hour and a half by train. We're also a gateway to Europe, so for students who are interested to travel during their studies, we're right next to France and Spain. We do have very good transportation links, and because we're near the sea, train, road, and of course, we have an airport nearby at Southampton as well, what we would call probably a domestic airport, but that flies to Europe as well. But most students from Asia will typically come in at Heathrow in London. This is just a picture for you, an image that for you to imagine what it looks like in the city of Portsmouth. As you can see, we're by the seaside, and this is typical. We are an island city, so you would see the sea around us most of the time. The tower that you see there is called the Spinnaker Tower. It's a symbol of the South, so when folks see that, they typically understand that you're talking about the south of England. The campus is about a 5 to 10 minute walk from the tower. The university in 2020 was ranked at number 21 on the Guardian League table. We do have a QS rating, and we're one of only 13 universities in the UK that have a 5-star rating. We do quite well in our graduate employment as well. As you can see, there's over 90%. And we're fairly proud of our Teaching Excellence Award as well. And we've been given the highest award, which is a gold rating for teaching excellence. The university is about 150 years old. We're known as a modern university of approximately 25,000 students. But in terms of international students, we have about 20% or just slightly more. Half of them are typically from Europe. So if you actually think about it, it's only about 10% that come from the rest of the world. And that's why we'd love to invite more Indonesian students and students from Asia across to us. We have 5 faculties, and you can see here we have business and law, creative and cultural industries, humanities and social sciences. We do have science and technology as well. And altogether, we have over 400 degree programs, so quite a lot to choose from. We do also have a January / February start date, so an intake for some students who might be interested in postgraduate courses mainly. And also for those from high school who might want to transfer early, you could take a foundation pathway as well. In our Faculty of Business and Law, we have all sorts of courses ranging from accounting to law, of course. We have our own school of law, finance, marketing, human resources, risk management, international business and management, and most of them are accredited. So for example, if you were taking a bachelor degree in accounting, you'd get full accreditation from, say, ACCA. We also have CIMA accreditation, as well as CPA Australia. So these are well-recognized courses. And from the pictures, you can actually see some of the facilities that we have for students. So we have our own mock courtroom for students to practice their law. We have our own Bloomberg suite as well, for students studying courses like accounting and finance. They'll be exposed to stock trading with live information streaming in from London. So this is a brief introduction to our business faculty. We also have the Faculty of Technology. And again, I've picked pictures here to give you an idea of some of the facilities we have, and you can see some there on robotics. Courses that tend to be more popular include civil engineering, product design. We have some new courses related to energy and power engineering as well. We have a school of computing, and typically the popular areas of study these days include cybersecurity and digital forensics and data analytics, which we also have. Of course, we also have the traditional courses like computer science and computing, software engineering. These are all available as well. We do have a very strong department in mathematics and physics, where we teach subject areas like logistics and supply chain management and applied astrophysics. In our Faculty of Science, again, if you have a look at the images, it gives you an idea of what we offer. There is a dental academy, there's a department of psychology, School of Sports Science. However, we are quite well known for our health sciences, as well as our School of Biology and Biomedical Sciences. So courses that tend to be popular are pharmacy, of course, biomedical science, biology. Currently is very popular because of the work that we're doing in the area of plastics and how it affects the environment. We have a sports science school, and this is also rated quite highly. We do have geosciences, so courses like geology, geographical information systems, and a very popular area in postgraduate studies would be the crisis and disaster management. In our Faculty of Creative and Cultural Industries, one of our most popular areas is architecture and interior design, if you're looking at it from a postgraduate point of view. We are also very well known for visual effects and computer animations, film production as well. And we do have something that's quite unique, which is the performing arts. So if you're interested in things like drama, or you have a passion for singing, then there is the option of musical theatre as well. In our Faculty of Humanities and Social Sciences sits our Institute of Criminal Justice, which is the largest in the UK. So we do have quite a long list of subject areas related to crime and criminology. In fact, it's probably one of the longest amongst all the universities in the UK. So if you're interested in studying forensic studies, then we're the place for you. We also offer areas in education. So if you're interested in early childhood education, or at postgraduate level, if you're interested in leadership and management within an education environment, that's also available. We are also known for languages, and we have one of the top-rated schools of languages in Europe. So if you were interested in, say, teaching English, we have a TESOL program. We have applied linguistics, and we have at bachelor level combination degrees like English and creative writing or English and media studies, for example. So you could always check some of these out on our website. We also have an area of social studies. So if you're interested in history or journalism, we've recently been re-established as the #1 journalism program at bachelor level in the country. We do have this recognition from the professional industry and the association. We also offer international relations and other subject areas like sociology. This is the league table for this year in 2020, just to give you an idea. These league tables tend to be quite fluid over the years. You go up and you go down, but as of 2020, these were the ratings that we have for certain subject areas. So as you can see, we do have some subject areas in the top 10 in the country and some in the top 20. So if you're interested in studying any of these areas, we're a good place for you. I mentioned biology earlier. So we were ranked 3rd this year, including design, followed by criminology, sports science, and mathematics. In our top 20, we have things like fashion, social work, environmental sciences, and architecture, pharmacy and pharmacology, an area of engineering, which is electronics, and international relations. In our courses for this coming February, we do have a list of postgraduate programs that are available. And we have a short list for undergraduate programs, which are typically top-up courses. However, if you are interested in any of the programs, our orientation does start at the end of January and will start in early February. These courses, of course, are the information is available on our website. So please do have a look at our website because you're probably not going to remember all of this. So a good reference will be our website. These are just some additional images for you to have a look. We do want to stress that we focus on employability in all of our courses. So these will be very much practical programs. We try to link you to industry as much as possible. So you may have some assignments that are linked to actual organizations in industry. And this is, I believe, something that students these days are looking for. So if you are looking for a course that has a practical base, then we're probably a good place to start looking. When students come across, we do offer quite a lot of support. So for those of you who've never come to the UK before, we offer airport pickup direct to the campus from London. We have a group of people who advise on visas, student exchange programs if you were interested to go on an exchange, housing if you're interested to stay on campus, and even in private housing as well. We have an advisory team that helps students with things like essay writing, presentation skills, and even helping you with your, say, dissertation or thesis that you are preparing. We do also have an employment department that helps students with part-time work if you were interested. One thing I'd like to stress is that all of our students, regardless of whether you're a home British student or an international student, you're always assigned a personal tutor. So you'll always have somebody to talk to if you have an issue with understanding your work or if you have a personal issue. Students can get a varied experience when they're with us. So we do offer in our undergraduate, so that's the bachelor degree programs, I would say about somewhere between 80 to 90% of our courses include a sandwich work placement year. So, and this is typically between year 2 and year 3. So if you came across to us as a bachelor degree student, you have the option of going out to work for 1 year as a student within your degree program. You could possibly also study abroad for a term if you were interested to go to one of our partner universities somewhere in the world. You could work part-time. Usually students are given the opportunity to work up to a maximum of 20 hours a week. So this potentially could help you earn some pocket money if you were interested. We also offer languages for free, and this is available for all of our students across the university. So if you decided, okay, since I'm in the UK and I'm right next to Europe, if I decided to go on a holiday, perhaps I could pick up some French or some Spanish or even some German. And these are courses that we offer for free. We do also hold summer schools. Unfortunately, at this time, due to COVID, these are temporarily on hold until the situation improves and we'll start to offer the summer schools again. Again, these are some additional pictures. We do offer students other sorts of experiences as well. So it's not all just about studying. We do have social events that are organized by the student union and the university as well. The crowd of people that you see there, that's during our global week. And all the different nationalities come out to celebrate and promote their cultures. The other pictures there, you see our students going on excursions to different locations, whether it's to the beach, to Stonehenge. You could be going up to London to watch a musical, or maybe even going to Scotland or to, say, Europe, for example, for a short weekend. Other things that students get involved in whilst they're with us could be clubs and societies. So there are all sorts of things, almost any sport you can think of, we probably have a club for it, and a whole range of societies as well. I've picked up something from Facebook, and there is an Indonesian society, they call it PPI Portsmouth. So if you are interested to get into this group or maybe to even start your own group and register that with the Students' Union, this is all possible. Our tuition fees for the coming year, so this is starting in September of 2021, there is a range for the course fees. It ranges from £15,500 upwards to £17,600, depending on your course. So usually the more expensive courses are related to laboratory facilities. And if you were studying, say, a business program, then it would probably be in the lower range. For students going out on placements, say, for example, if you decided you wanted to go out on a work placement here, you don't pay a tuition fee, but there is a placement fee to be paid, and that's minimal at about 2,600. If students accept their offers coming over to us, so if we gave you an offer for a course and we're happy to have you, and you're happy with the course that is offered, you could accept it. And at that point, you could decide to pay your deposit so that we can issue you a CAS, which you will need to apply for a visa. We do offer scholarships, and these are scholarships for any course that you apply to, so they are not restricted to specific courses. So for next year in September, if you're coming in, if you're holding an Indonesian passport, first of all, you will automatically be entitled to a one-off scholarship worth £1,600. Now, if you are an excellent student, say, and you wanted to try to apply for a merit-based scholarship, which means that you will be competing with other students, that scholarship is worth £5,000 and it is also a one-off award. Students who decide they want to continue studying with us, and if you think that's okay, I've done a bachelor degree, perhaps I'll do a master's, you'll get a 20% discount on your tuition fee if you decide to come across to us as an alumni. Our accommodation is available on campus, and this is very near all the faculty buildings, so somewhere between a 5 to 10-minute walk, or even less. But we also offer private accommodation, and this is available. You can actually view these options on our website. These are just some pictures of what we offer. So they will be single rooms, typically, usually with an attached bathroom. And the kitchens are normally quite large. So these are the facilities where we do usually have students sharing. So you could have perhaps 5 students sharing kitchen. And that's quite useful for socializing, to make friends and eat together. Because your rooms are all single rooms. In terms of living costs, we're a lot more cost effective and we're a lot cheaper than larger cities. Portsmouth is generally a medium-sized city, so it's not as expensive to live in Portsmouth. And because our buildings are fairly close together, you don't really need to spend any money on transportation going from, say, your halls of residence to the faculty building and your classes, or say if you wanted to go to the library. These are all within walking distance, so you do actually save a lot of money from not having to take any kind of transportation to classes. An estimated cost, so this is an average that we take from our students reporting back to us each year. So the average, I'd say, is about £9,000 a year. It could be less or more, depending on your lifestyle. Of course, this doesn't include things like holidays abroad and all of that. So this is for basic student living. I should also point out for students who are concerned about halal food, we do have quite a few grocery stores and supermarkets that sell halal food, because we do get quite a number of Islamic students coming to us from various countries and different continents. So if you're concerned about this, don't worry, we do have a lot of halal food available. And if you're also concerned about things like prayer areas, this is also available for our Muslim students. Just very quickly, I wanted to leave you my email address in case you're interested and you wanted to get in touch with us, and if you had more questions. Obviously, I will take questions now and I will help to answer as many as I can at this time. But if you have questions later on, you can always get in touch with me through this email. I just have a very quick question for our timekeeper and our organizers. I have a few slides that I wanted to highlight on the COVID situation at the university. Do I have any more minutes that could be spared?
Yes, you actually have some time left
Okay.
for the
Okay,
presentation.
brilliant. So just very quickly, in case students were kind of curious and wondering what's going on in the UK right now, and particularly in Portsmouth, if I were interested to study here, how are we handling the situation? So I'll just briefly show you a few slides. We are very concerned with health and safety when it comes to our students and our staff. So we have put into place, and we were one of the first few universities to actually have a lot of these implemented on campus. So what is happening right now? So students who've come in already for the autumn intake, and we will also apply this for our February intake, is our large lectures will no longer be held face-to-face. They will be delivered online for large lectures. However, for small group teaching, studio-based learning or workshops, for example, if you're studying subject areas like engineering or pharmacy that required laboratory work, or if you were in graphic design, for example. These will still be held face-to-face, and we have all the regulations put in, and I'll show you this in the next slide. Your tutorials and your smaller seminars for discussions with your lecturers can also be held face-to-face. Now, these are the measures that we have put into place, and we follow these quite strictly. There will be social distancing within the classes, and in the UK, that means a 2-meter distance. Students are required to wear PPE, so you have your masks. We have cleaning done all the time. We have one-way systems within our buildings, so you go in one way, you come out another. We've had to make a lot of rearrangements to actually have all this in place. So rest assured that these have been put into place, and that we are keeping to this fairly strictly. So there are automated hand sanitizers and temperature scanners as well for all the buildings. So as I mentioned, large group settings, they will no longer be held face-to-face. So all of these will be delivered online, and they will be recorded for students as well. So this is actually a benefit. So if, let's say, you are not able to attend a large lecture on a normal day, you normally don't have a recording, but today you do. So you're able to watch it anytime you want, and you can watch it again and again if you wanted. So in January, we have what we called a blended and connected delivery. So you will still be connected with everyone, with your lecturers, your personal tutors, all your support services, and you will have a blend of some face-to-face classes as well. We do have 24/7 welfare support. So when students come in, and if, let's say, you were required to be self-isolated or quarantined, we do provide the support if you needed food delivered. There is a number to call. And when you arrive in the first instance, we do have food prepared for you, and that is already packed and waiting for you when you arrive. Now, whenever you are ready, so there are some students who decide, okay, maybe I'm not so comfortable to come over right now. You can choose to study online with us first, in the first instance. And when you feel that you feel more comfortable and you feel more confident of coming across, we will be ready to receive you at any time within that semester. So for example, students who are coming across in February for that semester, if they decide, okay, maybe not February, maybe I'll come in April, that's absolutely fine, and we'll be ready for you. These are some of the questions that students do ask us quite commonly. What are the cases in Portsmouth? Are there many cases there? Now, we're in the south of England, so we're in an area where we have one of the lowest number of cases. As of the last report from the city within the last week, I think we had about 20 cases within the university. So that's a very, very low number for a city, and we are a major city. Now, students may also ask, if I paid my deposit and I changed my mind because maybe the situation hasn't improved well enough, could I get a refund, or could I maybe defer my fees to the following semester or following intake? Yes, this is possible, but do please check with us first. Will there be online pre-sessional English courses? Now, there are some students who feel that there are pre-sessional courses that they want to take, or you may be required to take an English course in the summer before you come to us. The answer is yes, we have now made these available. Our intake dates are now February and September. We could push this on to October. We're not sure yet. We'll see how things go. But at this point in time, it's September. We have our own COVID testing centers on campus. So we were actually the very first university to have this available. And we now have 2 test centers. So one for people who come across with symptoms and another test site for those without symptoms. So we're ready and we're prepared. In fact, we're preparing right now for students to take tests so that they can go home for Christmas. Right, so that's it, and I'm happy to take questions if there are any that are that you'd like answered.
Okay, thank you very much, Miss Adele Wong, for the presentation. I think it's really great for you to be really open about the COVID-19 situation. I think, like, especially for international students, they need reassurance about their safety when they go to Portsmouth. So, I will read some question from the YouTube comment section that already asked from the viewers. The first question will be, hello. Can a candidate from a B accredited university apply for a postgraduate in University of Portsmouth?
I think if you have completed a bachelor degree in Indonesia, regardless of the institution that you come from, we will assess every student on a case-to-case basis and fairly, and we will look at typical things like what subject area you'd studied before, what course you're applying to, if they are related or not. Also, maybe your GPA or the grade that you had achieved. And your English levels. So these are some of the things that we will look at to assess your application. And yes, there's always that possibility of applying from your bachelor degree into our postgraduate programs. So the answer is yes.
Thank you very much for your answer. The next question. Uh, so for high school students that right now is in the 12th grade and will graduate in 2021, can they directly apply to join the bachelor program, or do they have to take foundation year?
Right, that's a very good question. Now, we have an associate college called the International College of Portsmouth. I didn't have a slide on this today, but if you go to our website, there will be links to our college. So bear in mind the name is ICP Portsmouth, and they are on campus with us. And students from Indonesia from grade 12 can go directly into year 1 of a degree at the college, provided we offer the course, of course. And they can then proceed to do the second year at the university itself. So we're doing this because the college actually provides a lot more support. There is more face-to-face time, whether it's online these days or actually physically face-to-face, to assist the student coming in from a different education system. Also, because in the UK, we usually have 13 years of study at school level, whereas, as you said, in Indonesia, you have up to 12 years. So we do have to have that additional support for students coming across from Indonesia. But if your grade is good enough, then we will consider taking you directly into year 1 of the degree at the college. And you can then transfer to year 2 at the university. When you apply to the college and come across, you will be given a visa from the university itself. So you will actually be registered as a university student, even if you're studying at the college. So I hope that helps.
Thank you very much for your explanation. Next question. Someone asked about the employment rate of international students after they graduate from the University of Portsmouth. Like, do you know like how much is the employment rate, especially for them if they want to work in the UK?
I think it varies very much course to course. Well, I think in one of my earliest slides, I'd shown that we had quite a good rate for Portsmouth in terms of what students do after their studies. So I think there was a 97%, I think it was on my slide earlier, where students go into either a job or into a postgraduate program after their studies, and this is sort of looked at 6 months after their graduation. Whether they are employed in the UK or internationally, anywhere else in the world, uh, we're not able to give you the statistics right now. But I think safe to say, with employability as such a big issue these days, and something that we really focus on at the university, we try to enable our students as much as possible to be employed in the UK as well. And now with this post-study work visa coming up, starting from the summer of next year, students can stay back and work in the UK. So if you are unable to find a job in the early days, you're actually given 2 years to actually secure a job in the UK, because that is what the new visa will enable you to do. Does
Okay.
that help at all?
I think that's really clear. Okay, let's go to the next question. Someone asked, I will read it for you. Uh, I studied German literature in my bachelor degree and now working as a German teacher. But now I interested to learn English and really want to take TESOL in Portsmouth University. Is it possible?
Yes, it's possible, definitely possible, especially if you've been teaching languages before. I suppose the only thing we would ask is what is your current level for English language? And if you're able to show us that via, say, an IELTS or a TOEFL score, then yes, very much we would love to have you as a student for TESOL or any of our applied linguistics programs. We even have students taking, say, translation studies as well at postgraduate level. So yes.
Okay, okay. Thank you very much. Maybe last question for the Q&A session. Do you have any tips for the students that wants to apply to the University of Portsmouth for their personal statement letter, or maybe tips for the reference letter that it should provide in order to apply to the university?
Okay, so that's two parts. So I'll talk about personal statement very briefly first. I don't want to confine students too much because they're free to write whatever they wish in a personal statement, but just as a guide, it shouldn't be too long, because we're not looking at a competition for essay writing, but ideally we would like to hear a bit about your background, particularly your academic background, why you decided that you wanted to study in the UK or Portsmouth, and also why you selected this particular subject area and what you plan to do in the future with this. So these are probably the more important points that we'd like to understand from the student and that we typically look for within a personal statement. Obviously, if you wanted to um, tell us about all the great points about yourself, we're very happy to have that on the personal statement. If you've had any voluntary work or observation, or even paid work experience, particularly for bachelor degree students, that will be very useful. Also, if you are a postgraduate applicant, whether you've worked before or if you were a fresh graduate, that will be also useful for us to know. If we were to look at a reference, um, again, depending on what sort of application you're putting across, if you're applying for a bachelor degree, then we would like to have 2 academic references. And if you are a postgraduate student, and if you've had some work experience, it would be beneficial to have at least 1 academic reference, but also an employer's reference as well. Because this is also useful to know what sort of work background a postgraduate student has. So in terms of what sort of content should go in, obviously all the nice things about you, and again, if you have anything that the employer could tell us or the academic could tell us, of your strengths, particularly academic strengths, whether they feel confident that you could proceed to study at a higher level or capable of research. Things like this are also important for us. We do have a web page on our website that actually gives you a few pointers, probably a little bit more detail than what I've just shared. So if you just took a quick peek at our website, you'll probably have a better idea.
Okay, thank you. So that is the end of our Q&A session. Just a reminder, you can connect with the representative from the University of Portsmouth through the information given earlier. Maybe you can go back to the slide that show the, yeah,
Um, Here we go.
yeah, that one. Okay, thank you very much. And just a reminder that today is the last day of IHAF Indonesia event, and you still have chance to talk directly to the university representative through our virtual fair. You can access it through our website, event.ihaf.id. So thank you very much for watching. And this is the last IHAF webinar series. Thank you very much and see you again in IHAF Indonesia 2021. Thank you everyone for watching. Good
Thank
evening
you. Thank
and
you for
goodbye.
having me. Selamat malam.
Selamat malam. Terima kasih.
Terima kasih.